All right, back again for another deep dive.
Today we're going to be looking at something pretty cool, DSDL,
Okay.
a Delphi game development framework. Now,
Okay.
from the stuff you sent me, this thing's got some really awesome features,
Who
right?
knows? Yeah.
We got spine animation, ZIP-based I/O,
Right.
MPEG-1 video playback. It's running on this like high-performance engine. Color me intrigued, man. This looks
Hey,
cool.
It's got a lot of features for game development in Delphi,
Right.
and they're designed to be powerful but also very efficient.
Okay, so right off the bat, we see this thing, right? DSDL, SDL for Delphi.
Good.
Break that down for me. What's SDL?
Okay, so SDL stands for a simple direct media layer,
Okay.
and it's basically like a cross-platform library
Yeah.
that provides tools for multimedia.
You're right.
So you can think of it as like
The foundation for your
the
game.
foundation.
Yeah, it handles graphics, audio input, all those elements
Mhm.
that you need in your game.
Gotcha. So like DSDL is basically taking that.
Yes. And it's using the latest version, SDL3,
Okay.
and making that very accessible for Delphi developers.
So they're basically making this super powerful tool,
Hmm.
Talk Delphi, which is pretty cool, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so one of the features that really stood out to me was spine animation support.
Okay.
Now, I've heard of spine, but what's the big deal?
So Spine is a really amazing system for 2D animation. You know, traditional animation is kind of like a flip book, right?
Yeah.
You have each frame a separate image, and you just flip through them.
Right. Right.
And it works, but it can look a little stiff.
Yeah.
Spine uses what we call skeletal animation.
Okay.
So imagine you create like a skeleton for your character, a virtual skeleton,
Well-
and then you define how those bones move and connect and how they rotate.
Interesting.
And this results in very fluid, smooth movement.
So we're talking like walk cycle,
Yeah, walks like...
attack animations,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, in it's going to be smoother than like, I guess, traditional animation.
Yes, much smoother, much more dynamic,
Okay.
and there's even more to it than that.
Okay.
So Spine also supports animation blending. So you can seamlessly transition
Yeah.
between different actions. So
Okay.
imagine your character going from a walk to a run to a jump attack,
Oh, cool.
all very smoothly.
So like it all just kind of blends together?
Exactly.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and there's features like clipping masks,
So,
which allow you to do things like having a character partially disappear behind an object.
oh, wow.
And DSDL ensures that these animations look really good, no matter what background they're on, by supporting pre-multiplied alpha transparency,
Okay.
which basically means it pre-calculates how the animation blends with the background so you don't get any weird halos
Yeah.
or artifacts.
All right, so we got our characters looking good, moving good.
Yeah.
But a great game is more than just pretty animations.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, keep all the pieces organized. Talk to me about the ZIP-based I/O.
Okay.
How does that help?
So think about all the assets that go into a game, right?
Yeah.
You got your character sprites, your background images, sound effects, music, all those things.
Mm.
And then you add the animation data we just talked about. That can be a lot of files.
Yeah, it can get pretty messy, right?
Yes, very quickly.
Mm.
So ZIP-based I/O lets you package all of that directly into ZIP archives.
So everything's just like tucked away.
Yeah.
In one file.
Yes, in one neat package. Very clean, very organized.
So that's got to be good for project management, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Less file clutter, better organization, and potentially faster loading times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so instead of the engine having to look all over your hard drive, it can read everything it needs from that single archive.
So your game loads faster.
Uh,
Players get into the action quicker.
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's move on to something that I'm really curious about. MPEG-1 video playback.
Oh, yeah.
MPEG-1. It's taking me back. Are we talking about embedding videos?
Yeah.
Right into our Delphi games.
Yes, exactly. You can embed videos into your games.
That sounds powerful.
Mm-hmm.
What are some creative ways developers could use this?
Oh, there's a ton of possibilities. The classic one is cutscenes, right?
Right.
You can enhance the story. With cinematic sequences...
Those little movies in your game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can go beyond that.
Oh, cool.
You can have dynamic video elements within the game world itself.
What do you mean?
So imagine, for example, you have security cameras flickering on monitors in your game,
Oh, wow.
or maybe screens that are displaying news reports or propaganda.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can even have a virtual reality game within your game,
Oh, wow.
powered by MPEG-1 video playback.
This has me thinking, though. What are the limitations of MPEG-1? Like, are there file size concerns?
That's a great question, and it's something developers need to think about. Now, MPEG-1 is relatively old,
Yeah.
but it offers a good balance of compression and quality, so file sizes aren't usually a huge issue,
Oh.
especially for shorter clips. But if you're planning to use lots of high-resolution videos, you might need to think about
Hmm.
storage and loading times.
So you're saying it's something to keep in mind.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so we got amazing animation, streamlined assets, we got video playback. This DSDL sounds like a powerhouse, man.
It is.
But what about the engine room? What's going on under the hood
Okay.
to make this thing tick?
So remember how we talked about SDL?
Yeah.
One of the key strengths of SDL is its hardware-accelerated backend.
All right, so what's that mean?
It means that SDL taps directly into the power of your graphics card
Yeah.
to handle all the rendering, all the sound processing, everything.
Gotcha. So it's using the hardware to its fullest.
Exactly. And DSDL inherits this performance muscle,
Okay.
so you get smooth rendering. Even with complex scenes, you get efficient handling
Yeah.
of textures and audio. And this all contributes to maintaining those smooth frame rates.
Which are super important.
Extremely important.
Especially for action-packed games, right?
Especially for action.
Action games, yes.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having all these fancy features. It's about having an engine that can actually deliver.
Absolutely.
Okay, so by bringing this to the Delphi world,
Yeah.
you're giving Delphi developers the ability to really level up their game dev game.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say?
It's making it much easier for them to create high-performance games
Okay.
with all these great features.
All right, so it sounds like DSDL is striking a really good balance between powerful features and ease of use.
I think that's a great way to put it.
All right, so for anyone listening who's thinking about into game development,
Yeah.
DSDL sounds like a really cool option.
It is. It is. It's a very powerful option.
It's got the power, it's got the features, it's all wrapped up in a package. That's made for Delphi,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
It's a great time to be a Delphi developer who's interested in multimedia and games.
Absolutely. All right, so one final thought-provoking question for you, dear listener. If you had access to DSDL and all of its power, what kind of game would you create? Let those creative juices flow. That's all the time we have for today, but until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.